starting a fashion brand shouldn't feel impossible. Other print-on-demand platforms.
If you are a 1, you cannot expect to lead 2s, 3s, 4, 5s. If you're a 1, you can only lead 0s. It doesn't make you a bad person. You just need to focus on 0s. The problem is you're a 1 trying to lead 3s. But when you become the right person and you become a 10, you become a leader. Why? Because 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, they follow you. So listen to me. When we leave, I'm going to walk you through some stuff, but before we leave, I just need you to be the right person. So I was listening to a young lady, on Instagram with my wife, and she was like, well, why do men do this, do this? My wife was like, I don't know why my wife was talking to Instagram. I was like, sweetheart, she can't hear you. But my wife was like, young lady, you're not dealing with men, you're dealing with boys. So you're having problems. And I said to my wife, I was like, wow, we've been married 31 years. And as I became a man, my wife started doing things that she wouldn't do when I was a boy. And my professors started doing things they wouldn't do when I was a boy. And businesses started doing things for me that they wouldn't do when I was a boy. But when I became a man. And so for those of you who, I don't want you to think leadership is you're over somebody. I don't want you to think leadership is a title, because it's not. Leadership is you become. So I want to say it one more time. We're going to get started. Kia said to me the other day, I was speaking somewhere, and he was like, a marriage thing. And he was like, man, I can't wait to get married. I was like, whoa, relax. He's like, I'm trying to find love. I was like, you can't find love. Like, it's nowhere. Like, if you could find it, I would tell you where it is. But you can't find it. I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to spend time becoming a man. And somewhere in this world, she's becoming a woman. I don't know when it's going to happen, but somewhere you're going to be somewhere doing man stuff. And she's going to be in the same room doing woman stuff. And y'all go, as a matter of fact, here's what blew my mind, right? I just figured this out about 3 or 4 years ago. I've been with Dee Dee since 90, we got married. 87, we started dating. Some kind of way my wife and I were talking about 3 years ago. And I come to find out that my wife's mother was close to my family. I didn't know her. And my wife was at the same funeral with my 5-year-old cousin when he died. I was about 7 years old. She was 6. We were literally in the exact same location at 6 and 7 years old. We both were at the funeral, but we didn't get married or meet each other then because we were both kids. But when we both grew up and realized what we wanted to do in our lives, we collided at a church and we went to college together and got married after our freshman year. Today is about becoming. And once you become, you won't. So I'm not number one in the world. Listen to me. I see you. I'm not number one in the world, guys, because somebody told me to go on YouTube. Somebody told me to go on YouTube. There was a recession. Ford, GM, Chrysler went down. And I just thought, what up? I just started motivating people on Monday. It's your boy, E.T. Bump, thank God it's Friday. There is no thank God it's Friday without thank God it's Monday. You don't have no money on Friday if you ain't went to work on Monday. There's no partying if you broke. So let's not focus on Friday. Let's focus on Monday. Because if we have an explosive Monday, we can have a phenomenal weekend. And the world started listening to my stuff. And then I went from doing it on Monday because the world was loving it. I'm walking through the airport. People like, what up? What? Do that thing you do. I'm like, what? The what up? I'm like, that's corny. Like, bro, I'm from the D, bro. I don't be just walking around doing that. I just do that. That's like asking JJ Dynamite every time he walking around. Like, bro, I don't do that, bro. That's corny. It's like, no, do it, though. And I was like, all right, what up? I'm in the airport feeling crazy. What up? It's your boy, E.T. And the world started loving it. So guess what I do? I started doing it every day. And then I started doing it twice a day. Then I started doing 3 times a day. That's just what I'm saying. 120. Nobody told me to do that. I just started developing. How did you get so much content? I was just reading a whole bunch of books. What makes the great great? I was just reading books. So here's what I need you to do for me. I need to develop the whole you. Why? Because when you look at this building, right, this is crazy. On the left side, this is what the building looked like. on the left side. And I wish you could see the big pictures, like palm trees, the ocean is right there. This is in Miami. It's beautiful. But when you look on the left side, well,
hello and welcome everybody to video number 6. And you're probably thinking, finally, we're about to start doing technical analysis. And that's correct, but don't forget that the previous topics are very important. But to start off, we need to start with the introduction of what a support and resistance is. Now, since it's one of the most important and basic steps that we need to take on a day-to-day basis when we're analyzing the graph. Okay, so what is a resistance? It is the zone where the market turns or has bearish sellers' reactions. When an asset reaches these zones, sellers take control and drive the price back down. So look at resistance as a roof. You know, when you throw a ball up to the roof, the ball hits the roof, comes back down, right? There is a limit there. So it hits the roof, its limit, doesn't go any higher, and it comes back down, okay? What is a support? It's obviously the opposite of what a resistance is. It's the zone where the market turns or has buyers' reactions, or buyers or bullish reactions. When an asset reaches these zones, buyers take control and drive the price back up. So ideally, you can look at a support like the floor. If I bounce my ball on the floor, it's gonna touch the ball and bounce back up, right? So there's the limit on that also. How can we find them? How can you find support and resistance? A support level is below the current price of an instrument, or tends to be when price finds a floor as it's falling because the price. Welcome everybody to video number 8, and in this video we're going to give a brief introduction to candlestick patterns, something very important that we're going to use on a day-to-day basis to identify what the market is going to go, what it's going to do, and where it's going to go. So it's very important to understand what they are, how we use them, and what way they can benefit us as traders. So candlestick patterns are an essential tool in the technical analysis, providing traders with valuable information about the market trends and possible price movements. Developed in Japan centuries ago, candlestick charts have become a popular method of visually seeing price action and identifying patterns that can help predict future price.
You outside?
Unlike traditional charts, candlestick charts offer a more complete view of price movement, capturing the opening, closing, high and low price for a specific time or period. So as we talked about, in the candle video, you guys would see, how high the price went, where the price closed, where the price opened, how low the price went, right? So these are all very important. Each candlestick represents a certain time frame, such as a minute, an hour, a day, or a week, depending on the selected time intervals. As you guys know, we have a lot of time frames, from 1 minute to monthly. Candlesticks gain significance through the psychology and emotion of the market participants. They reflect the ongoing battle between the buyers and the sellers, representing struggle for control over the price direction. By analyzing the shape, size, and position of the candlesticks, traders can gain valuable information about the market dynamic and make informed trading decisions. So ideally, the candles is everything. Being able to read the candles and seeing what the candles are interpreting, we are able to make a decision, an informed decision when it comes to where we're going to go with the market. Candlestick patterns can be classified into two main types. Reversal patterns indicate possible changes in trend direction. They include candlesticks formation known as the hammer, shooting stars, doji, engulfing candle patterns, and morning or evening stars. These patterns can signal possible turning points in the market and provide opportunities to enter or exit positions. Very important. These patterns, when it comes to dojis, hammers, even engulfing candles, they're patterns that tell us who is taking control or when the control is being lost, when there's no volume, and the possibility of a market trend or a reversal trend, it's coming. Continuation patterns, such as the current trend, is likely to continue. Example of continuation patterns include flags, pennants, triangles, and rectangles. These patterns can help traders identify opportunities to stay in a trade and take advantage of the ongoing trend. So very important, triangle, flags, we see the market kind of like a consolidation pattern on an uptrend, or simple break and retest. They can be very, very helpful to look for those continuations. These are actually the ones that I like the more when we're looking for entry positions with the trend. You know, a lot of the time you see them after a big bullish push, and then the market will consolidate, form a type of pendant or a flag or a triangle, and then we wait for the breakout, and then we enter the position there. So very good patterns to use to work with the trend. Remember, we've said it before, and you're probably going to hear it several times throughout the whole course. The trend is your friend. To use candlestick patterns effectively, traders often consider other technical indicators and analysis the overall market context. They look for confirming signals such as volume patterns, trend lines, and support and resistance level, or additional patterns on the chart to increase the reliability of their trading decisions. So it's not just a candlestick pattern. We use other confirmations on top of that, support and resistance, break and retest, a trend line, or any other indicator that gives or shows a certain confirmation to say, hey, this is where we're going. It is important to note that while candlestick patterns can provide valuable information, they're not infallible and should not be used in isolation. So what does that mean? Don't just use a candlestick.
What's going on, everyone? What's going on? Happy Thursday, everyone. Good evening to everyone that's on here in tonight's call. My name is Manny, and super excited to be on here with you guys. Beyond excited just because it's another day. We're here today with you guys, and it's one of my favorite days of the week because Thursday, right? We get to trade tonight, we get to wrap up the week, and we get to come up to the weekend and relax the weekend, guys. But like we do on every call, guys, and real quick before we get started on this call, let me know where you guys are coming in from. Drop it in the chat. We'd love to know where you guys are coming in from. We'd love to know what are you most grateful for today. For me, guys, I'm just truly grateful to wake up this morning. Grateful that I was able to make it to our doctor's appointment. Grateful that I got to spend most of the day with my wife. Even took a nap today, something I don't usually do. Grateful that my family, my kids, and everyone that's around me that I love most is doing really well. My mom, my dad, got to see my dad today. Haven't seen them in like 3 months due to like him being in the Dominican Republic, work, and other things. And he just got back to the country. Got to see him today. It was really good to see him. And I'm super happy and grateful for this amazing community that inspires me to keep showing up. Reminds me of why I'm here every single day. And family, before we get started on this call, I want everyone on here, right? And this is something that I've seen just from yesterday's call. Is in my screen. There we go. It's something that I noticed on yesterday's call, guys. If you're able to, right? If you're really seriously able to, open your cameras, right? And if you're not able to open your cameras today at the moment in time, I will challenge you moving forward to come with your cameras open. And here's why. Yesterday, being on the mindset call with Luis, and when he challenged everyone to open up their cameras, and I saw how many people had their cameras open. You know what I saw? I saw more people engage. I saw more people focus, right? So easy that we could have our cameras off and get distracted with the TV, get distracted with this piece of device that I'll tell you right now, you should mute it, put it on personal, put it on do not disturb. Why? Someone jumping on here to provide us some value on some information that might help you to get you to the next level. So I would encourage everyone on here just, again, moving forward, if you can tonight, just come with your cameras open. Just picture yourself, right? And this is what I've learned. If you treat this like a job and you treat this profession like a job and you treat this like a career, it's going to pay you like a career. And if you treat it like a real business, it's going to pay you like a real business. So if you was to go into your career job or to your real business, how would you show up for yourself, right? How would you feel, right? Another thing that I would like to let you guys know, right? Everyone on here is in the trading journey, right? Everyone's journey is going to be different, right? No one's journey is going to be the same way as someone else's. Someone else is just providing you some of their expertise, some of their knowledge, some of their guidance, and also just giving you some information that they did wrong. So hopefully you don't repeat the same mistake they done before, we done before, other people done before. That's what the GFU educators do as well by giving you that information. Here's the most important thing I think a lot of people are not understanding. You need to ask yourself, what does $10, what does $20, what does $50, $100, $500, $1,000 means to you when you're trading and that money is popping up on your screen? What does that mean to you? And once you're able to identify that, right, and respect that money, not treat it like it's not money, like real money, then I believe things will start to click more. Because for me, that was one of my biggest issues that I had for a long time. So let's get started with tonight's call, guys, because I'm extremely grateful. You know, this individual here is someone that I've been working with now for 5 years, but someone that I've been knowing now for 8 years. An incredible husband, an incredible father, and an incredible leader, someone that's going to consistently show up. And that's the way he leads, by showing up. And that's something that you can take for granted. So, Omar, I just want to thank you, bro, for just riding the ship with us here. You know, it's been 5 great years. Looking forward to the next 5 years. You know, with everything that we're working behind the scenes right now to get things going even more further down the line for everyone on here, especially guys here with the CTA scanner, with the word-free scanners, guys. Like, him and Tyler are working on a lot of new stuff that's going to hopefully be done in the next couple of weeks. That's only going to help us to get things in 2026 to the next level. So if you guys are excited and you guys are hyped to be here, drop some CTAs in the chat real quick, right? Because I don't know about you guys. I want to learn more about the scanner, right? I want to learn more about what he's seeing to get him those information, to get him those perfect entries. And I also want to be able, hopefully, if we see one tonight, because the last few nights we got on, catch a nice position, guys. So Omar, take it away, brother.
Manny, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, bro.
All right, what's going on, familia, guys? Happy Thursday. All right, happy Thursday. I'm happy and grateful to be here every Thursday. My voice is low, guys. The kids are asleep, so I want to make sure I keep them asleep. All right. But guys, I'm happy and grateful for another day of life, right? I'm happy and grateful for family. I'm happy and grateful for community. I'm happy and grateful for my children, my parents, my wife, this community, Manny, always keeping me engaged. I'm happy and grateful for you guys, right? Because you guys kind of keep me motivated to keep going no matter what. So I'm definitely happy and grateful for that. Let me share my screen here. We do have a CTA called out, right? So we're going to be able to track it down and run with this. Guys, let me know, Manny, if you can see my screen. Definitely let me know.
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. Let's do that right there. All right. All right, so guys, like anything, let me see if I have my rules picture in here. Okay, I don't have my rules in there yet. Boom. All right. All right. All right, so I'm gonna run through this real quick as we're letting the CTA set up, right? So how to make money using a scanner. So guys, I'm gonna literally go through the rules real quick. You got to chart up your pair, right? Chart up your pair. What does that mean? Chart. All right, boom, right there. All right, so let's go 15 minutes real quick. All right, so you guys can see, I'm gonna try to go as front as possible. All right, so we don't miss this thing and we keep this setup happening. All right, so guys, check it out. All right, we got a CTA happening on a 15 minutes. We have about 12 minutes, so please, guys, bear with me. All right, in 12 minutes, we're possibly gonna look to execute this trade. So I need you to pay attention. All right, we're gonna chart up the pair and identify support and resistance. That's what I've done here, right here. If you guys need assistance of support and resistance, go into your academy under the intermediate. You can come in here is how to draw support and resistance, introduction to support and resistance, introduction to candlestick patterns, and advanced candlestick patterns. You'll want to watch that and make sure you're up to speed with it, right? That's first one. Then the second one, we're going to select our time frame. We're currently on the 15 and a 1 minute. So that's the time frame we're looking to do. All right. Next thing you know, we have to wait for step 3. which we wait for a CTA to be called out. If it's a green CTA, we're looking to buy the market. As you guys can see, we're getting a green CTA happening right now. So what does that mean? That means we're looking to buy the market, right? We're looking to the market to swing back to the upside, all right? If it's a red CTA, we're looking to sell the market. It's nice and simple. Here's where the actual entry point starts to begin to get in, right? Because if you see CTA, don't mean get in. If you're losing money just seeing CTA, you're not waiting for the rules. Wait for your time frame candle to completely close. It's 15 minutes. We have 10 minutes and 39 seconds and counting. You don't get in until that hits 000. If it hits 000 and it's not what you expected, then it's not what you expected. Don't chase money. Let it come to you. All right. If you're just entering because you want to win, then you're going to lose a lot of money here. Right. So once you wait for the candle to completely close with the option of retracement right here, as you guys can see, there was a wick after it closed. Option would be the next candle over to close out option to retracement, right? And then you would get in, right? That's place a trade. And then number 7 is, guys, place your trade on the next candle. The option for the retracement, place trade. And how do we know it's not the proper trade? Here's how we know. We have a 50 pip stop loss, right? Our trades wouldn't go and hit our 50 pip stop loss. So if it's not our trade, it will go hit your 50 pip stop loss. It's the only way to know, right? Guys, stop eliminating of, oh, hey, what if this happened? What if? Stop, eliminate the what if, and understand that the only way for you to know is to put the position in and let your stop loss do the work, right? Do not turn number 9, guys, is take profit. Here's how you pay yourself. You're going to go from band to middle band for all my beginner traders. All right, band to middle band for my beginner traders. And guys, band to band for my seasoned traders, right? Band to band, guys. I mean, we're looking at collecting, 300-400 pips, right? Which you don't need all of that, all right? You don't need 400 pips, but that's where you'd be looking to collect on some of these swing trades. Scalping, you're looking to get anywhere between 50 to 100 pips. So guess what? If it don't hit the middle band and you got your 100 pips already, that's a plus and an advantage for you, right? Guys, don't get greedy. We only need one of these candles. I just want you guys to see this. From this candle to the closeout of this 15-minute, that's 160 pips. Guys, 160 pips out of one lot, that's $1,600 in 15 minutes, right? I mean, however you want to look at it, that's $16 in 15 minutes. You literally took a penny, made $16 with the average American wage in about 15 minutes of holding, all right? So it's very important that you follow the take profit rules. And then, guys, look, the number 10 is one of my favorite ones. Don't turn a scalp to a swing trade. Let the trade go and re-enter. What does that mean? That means, guys, when we find a nice position and the position is finally going our way, this is the time. We don't want to change anything around it, right? We don't want to change anything. We want to get out same way and re-enter. Why? Because you can't get rich off of one trade unless you're trading at these massive lots. So unless you have $50,000 to $100,000 in your account, you can't get rich off of one trade, right? If you got 50 to 100, then yes, you can make $10,000, $20,000 off of one trade, right? But you can't do that here, right? So the question is, why try? Why not take the $500 the market is offering, the $600, the $100, take it, walk away, and redo it enough to build your account so that you can bust these big moves and get rich, right? You must take a minimum of 10 trades. This is where I see most traders suffer from, right? They try to take one trade and that's it. Well, I'm here to tell you guys, part of taking 10 trades is to learn. You got to be able to document. Some of you guys are in here gambling and we make it funny. We laugh about it, but it's not funny. Losing money is not funny, all right? If you're funny about losing money, that means you don't have no adult priorities. That's what that means. All right, guys? Because on this side, I can't afford to lose money. My family, yes, I'm taking money from my family, people from back home, and my donations that I got to do every single year. my parents. Anytime I lose money, I'm literally taking money from them. All right. So if you're that person like, oh, it's only this amount of dollars, yeah, that's because you don't have any financial goals yet, hence why you're willing to do any of that stuff, right? So for everybody that want to respect the rules, I'm here to tell you, minimum 10 trades a week. 2 of them could be live, 3 of them could be live. The rest of them, 7 is on your demo and you're learning, right? Guys, if you have issues trading on your demo, that means you're still trying to figure yourself out. See, only the fool, no disrespect, only the fool will use their money to go learn, right? The expert use their money to go literally and flip it. The fool says, you know what? I'm going to stay right here and learn, where they haven't mastered their rules. They haven't mastered their trading. They haven't mastered themselves, but they're willing to put real capital at risk. They're trying to make real capital because they don't respect the rules, right? I'm here to tell you guys, if you take 10 of these trades in 1 week, times that by 4, that's 40 trades that you've taken with CTA that you literally be able to dissect. I promise you next week, your next month trading is going to be a lot better than this month, right? But if you sit there and you're like, you know what, it is what it is, I'm willing to lose, then you've made a decision. You don't want to do anything the community or the people who came before you. You want to go out there and learn it on your own. You don't have to, right? And guys, this book will help you, right? The book will help you. So now that we got that, let's go in here. All right, now that we got that, look, guys, we got a nice support and resistance zone set up. We have about 4 minutes, right? 4 minutes setting up right now. And we have the 15-minute is ultimately inside of a nice, healthy CTA. All right, we broke outside of the band. All right, we got a CTA happening right here. We missed this CTA right here. We missed it, but guess what? It had just get ready to tap into our zone. The thing we know about CTAs, we want to align them with them hitting a resistance zone. So one of the things that if you guys notice, right, this is a nice 4-hour zone that we're sitting in. If you guys notice, we've been getting nothing but rejection in this area, right? Now, price is finally back in this area. Obviously, we want to be conscious of what's happening that's different than before today is, if you guys notice, this is the first time price has broken below this area and actually finished above and did a continuation minus the wick, right? We still have about 3 hours and change for this to change, right? But these are things that we want to start noticing when we get in the chart, aligning it with our 4-hour zone. So here's a 4-hour zone that's right here. We're currently inside of a 4-hour zone, and here's one back here, right? So it's important to know what zones we're going to be looking to take and all that. So we have 3 minutes. So guys, remember, we need it to finish at the bottom. I need the CTA. I need to see the CTA. Not only I need to see the CTA, once I see the CTA, I have to wait for it to completely close to confirm if that is my setup, right? And if that is my setup, I'm going to enter, and then I'm going to put a 50 pip stop loss. It's so simple. It's hard, right? Guys, let me know if you have currently right now, you have a live demo or a live account is set up, it is ready. Give me a CTA in the chat, right? Let's go. Give me a CTA in the chat. All right. If you're here and you're ready to participate, give me a CTA in the chat. And if you're not ready to participate, I'm here to tell you guys, all right, I need you to participate. The greatest way to really win at this is to be able to literally put the position in as you're seeing it with me. We can get in live. It'll help you create some confidence around yourself. And then you can literally take this on your own, right? And do it on your own. All right. And that's the key, guys. The key to what we're doing here is being able to get off this call and be able to do it on your own. So while we're waiting for this 1 minute here and seeing if this is our setup, all right? We got 1 minute and 40 and 45 seconds left. All right, guys, if when the clock is expiring, what we need to do ultimately is get it to the 1 minute and look for our CTAs on the 1 minute and get in, right? So let me put my lines here so I know when we enter the market. All right, I'm going to put some horizontal, some vertical lines. Okay. So you're gonna give me an inkling of how long I've been sitting in the market, right? And guys, take a look. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 1 hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 2 hours. So right, Omar, realistically, when I sit down, I don't want to really sit more than 2 hours if I'm trading. I don't want to sit more than 2 hours. So guess what? I have parameters put in my place to remind me when I start sitting too long. I'm like, okay, well, if I haven't found it at this point, all right, it's not going to happen, right? So here's my 1 minute, guys. We have 44 seconds left on the clock. We're going to wait for this expire, and then we have to remember, it's enter on the next candle or with the option to retrade, right? Now we're going to grab our rectangle, come in here. All right, I can come in here and I can leave this box right here for price ultimately to finish out the 20 seconds, and then I'm going to box the wick that we get out of it so that when I go back to the 1 minute, I know what that zone in that area is, right? And guys, don't rush into this thing. The reason why I would say you don't want to rush into this thing is because, all right, look, we have all of this is still up for liquidity grab. Look, and that's still, we haven't even got in that area yet. All right. All right. So price action is finished, right? Candle closed. All right, candle closed. Here is my wick right there to the wick. All right, I'm gonna put it on the 1 minute. All right, that's our wick, guys. All right, that's our wick. All right, now we would want to see a CTA happening. All right, let me see if it, all right, we got a little bit. All right, let's get our CTA on. All right, we want to come back to this area right here. All right, and we're gonna be patient, guys. We're not gonna rush. This is 10:30, right? We know Tokyo session is happening right now live. So guess what? There's not a lot of money that gets pumped. Look, we just had a trend that took place, right? So for everybody that's paying attention to the market, right? You had a consolidation zone happen, right? Here's a manipulation, right? And then here's the trend, right? They manipulated it and then they pushed the trend. So when trends finish, just like anything, we might see a little bounce, right? So guess what? Let's be conscious. Let's not force ourselves in. Let's catch a nice setup and we're gonna wait for it, right? The 1 minute will always give us our CTA before it goes anywhere. So we don't need to rush. All right. In the meantime, where are we at? 10:30. All right. So in the meantime, we're gonna do this. Let's go do here. All right. We're gonna be looking for some targets here. So let's go. We got from here. All right, from this area right here to the bottom of this here is about 200 pips, right? 200 pips. So where price is at right now to our next floor is about 88 pips, right? So I'm just putting an idea, guys, of what I'm really looking for, all right? And not only that, take a look from when the move started, the original move, support and resistance, we've gone down about 200, 300 pips, right? So about around this time, you guys can see the first drop CTA happened, and then this thing dropped 260 pips. And again, we may not be done dropping. We want to be patient. We want to get all of our confirmation, right? And if this is our so-called trade, don't worry, it will come back to you. It will give you the opportunity to get in, right? Because you weren't prepared for it, right? How do you prepare for a trade like this, guys? You need to be in the market about 45 minutes earlier in the market. If we were earlier in the market here, we would be getting ready to gear up for that trade that we would have caught right here and bounced it back, right? But we didn't really know much about it. So we don't want to jump into CTAs that we don't know nothing about. That's just what it is. All right. But in the meantime, let's do this. We're going to go here. All right. We're going to go 0.01, right? 0.05, all right? 0.1, all right? 0.5 and a 1, all right? All right, I'm gonna put this here This is our lot size. All right, and guys, we're looking, like I said, we're looking about from 50 to 100 pips. So what do we want to do? Let's just say 100 pips, right? It's just 100 pips. All right, and most people don't do this, guys. I highly recommend doing this because it's gonna help you get off the market and stop looking at price action and start locking in on what's happening actually in front of you, right? Because you don't want to really pay attention to what's happening in price action. All right, boom. All right. All right, so guys, all right, this is very important. This is how we get paid. This is how we make money. This is the importance, right? We have the penny. All right, we have the penny. All right, we got 5 cents. All right, we have the $1 bill. All right, the $1 bill. And I have a 20 in here somewhere. We got 20 in here somewhere? No. Okay, I got it. And guys, then we have, I'm going to show you a 20, but we're going to go for 10. We're going to say 10. We need 10 of these. Hold on. No, hold on. We need a 10. We need a 10. It's not right. Right. We need a 10. Oh, we're going to go 10. Oh, bueno. So, okay, here's a 10. There's a 10. There's a 10. Let's grab that. All right, here's a 10. Guys, all right? This is all you need. I'm going to show you guys, literally, it's all you need. You have your penny, your 5 cents, right? You have your $1, and you have your $10, right? Literally, all you need to do, guys, is couple these with the right lot size, and you promise you're going to win big forever, right? And what's that mean? That means when you couple that with the penny, this is $10, right? This is your $10 session. You couple, all right, if you couple the 5, right? If you couple the 5 thing, you're gonna have $50. All right, 50. All right, if you couple the 1, all right, you couple the 1, you're gonna have, oh, I'm sorry, 0.5, 50. All right, this is $100. $100. $500. And 1,000. All right, 1,000. And guys, stop. Don't look at the noise that's happening at the bottom of the chart. Right? Don't pay attention to the noise. It's noise. Remember, I told you we went from consolidation. We went from a trend. We hit a trend. And after a trend, you always confirm there's consolidation. All right. So if you get into any of the CTAs, it's not going to go that far. It's going to consolidate first. And it's only 10:31 p.m. Eastern time. That means London is only a few hours from opening. So they're going to gear the market up and get it ready, right, guys? When you go in your academy, this is important to learn about the times and the hours. Do we have a video on how to set up a CTA on TradingView? Yes, there is a video for that, Rob. All right. Yes, there is. And you can reach out to the person who enrolled you, and they can send you a YouTube link on that as well, so you can watch it. But guys, look, these are some of the targets, right? Here's $100 cash, right? If you play a $1, a 0.1, which is a $1 position, you can go make $100 cash, right? If you play a 0.5, 5 pennies, you can go make half of this, which is $50, right? If you play a penny, you can literally take 1 penny, guys, 1 penny, and you can literally turn it into $10 every time, right? This is crazy. It is, guys. This is going to be the biggest flip that you're going to ever see in your money. Is right here where you comfortably can see it. So learn to see this flip, because if you can learn to flip this penny to this $10, guys, is equivalent to, is the same exact move, right? That we'll be able to take this $1, to $100. Look, we're going to turn a $100 bill to $100, right? Same move if you can literally get comfortable with the move. Or we put the $1 down and says, you know what, $10, right? $10 to 1,000, right? $10 to 1,000. That's the same move. All right, guys, same move, right? Now, guess what? You can go from 1,000 now, guys, 1,000, and we can put 100,000. It's the same move. 1,000 to 100,000 is the same move. Same move, right? So I promise you, if you guys respect these little rules of trading, you guys are gonna make so much money, you're gonna kill it. But every time you get on the chart, I need you to know what lot size you're getting ready to execute based off the pattern that you're seeing in your face. How high probability is it the trade that you're looking at is going to be a winning trade? If it is, guess what? For the first time, you have the ability to interchange your lot sizes and say, okay, based off my account size, based off how much I can do, this is what I could do in this area right here, right? This is what I should do. And then guess what? Look, let's just say hypothetically from right there to right there, guys, look, it's 52 pips. You're halfway to some of these targets right here at 52 pips, right? Halfway. So guess what? You're halfway to some of these monies. All you have to do now is be conscious enough to understand that the money won't take itself unless you take the money and you clear yourself out, right? If you don't take the trade, guess what happens? Nothing happens, all right? Nothing happens. So we have 4 minutes and 29 seconds, all right? We got the CTA, but we definitely weren't in the market when it took place. So there's no way to say we should have been part of this trade. So guess what we do? We become patient enough to wait for it to pump up a little bit. And if it's truly our trade, it will come back down one more time, give us a CTA. It already flashed 50-something pips in front of us. Guess what? All we got to do is be patient enough, all right? Be patient enough. Let's go. Let me see what else we got. Our lot sizes done. We got our rules, and yeah, and now honestly, it's just getting everything set up. All right. Yeah, let's see. All right. All right, guys. As you guys can see, CTA on the 1 minute is happening right now, right? Let's take a look. Let's see. All right, we're hitting technically a previous roof. All right, we got 1 minute, right? Let's see what the 1 minute is doing, right? This is a good setup, guys. Anytime I see CTA, you got to respect it as price is going to come back down, right? You got to respect it as price got to come back down. Remember, we're looking to trade from band to band for my expert trader, band to middle band for my beginner trader in the beginning, right? So look, you would have been in the charts for 3-4 minutes. You went through like 7-8 minutes of bouncing around, and then for the expert trader, then you went straight to your TP, and you should have closed your trade right there, and then you regroup, right? Guys, I want you guys to understand, right, from here to here is 72 pips, right? Right here, we're going to go to about 100 pips. Realistically, you don't need all of that. You just need to understand how this works right here, right? And that all goes into the academy, you understanding leverage and understanding that you don't need a lot of money to literally make money here. You just need a good start, right? You need a good start, and you need a basis to understand the right decision to make. All right, the right decision to make. So, guys, like I said, we have this is a 15-minute CTA that got called out. So do not pump yourself in, right? We missed this candle. It's okay. Guess what we have to do? We have to wait for a re-entry. So I want you guys to take a look so that you don't rush yourself out of CTAs, right? Or rush into a look. Here's a CTA that's called. We had 30 minutes of pump happen, and then this 1 minute candle came. This candle came back and all the way back to our zone, before the takeoff, right? Look, CTA, candle came back, right, to the area to pick you up before the takeoff, right? Look, CTA happened, right? It looked like it pushed up and left us, but look what happened. It slammed back down, right? Eventually slammed back down. The question will be, will we be able to wait for it to slam back down, right? So this is the way Omar thinks, so I don't get caught up in, oh, I missed it. Oh, this happened. How come you didn't get in? And blah, 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 blah. Look what's happening right now, all right? This is what trading's about, guys, is being able to identify something and then not letting anything force you to make your decision, right? Because in life, usually life forces you to make a decision like this, right? Here, you have to force yourself to make the decision, not let the market force you. Because, guys, if the market forces you to make a decision, that means someone out there, they got you, right? They got you. Why? Because they got you to abandon everything you came in for and to literally go with what you think is going to win based off what they showed you, right? Because, guys, trading is us, you versus me, us versus them. So guess what? Whoever put this position in, they got more money than everybody on here, right? So they're able to manipulate this, right? So it's us versus them, right? Look like they're winning right now, all right? They're winning right now, all right? Remember we said the CTA, it will come back and give you an opportunity, all right? We have, guys, this gray area, this yellow box right here, that's literally our wick for the 15-minute CTA that took place. All right, look at that. Jeez. All right, that's why we don't get enough crazy trades. All right, 15 minutes. That's why we don't do crazy. All right, look. All right, guys, we got 17 seconds. All right, it's 1:45. It definitely came in, wicked us. All right, it wicked us on that. Let me see. All right, we want to just be patient. All right, we want to be patient. We want to see out CTA. All right, if we see out CTA, guys, look, this is what's going to happen. All right, so I'm going to walk everybody through this. It's going to come in, right, and it's going to literally possibly tap right here, all right, and then start pushing back up. So we want to wait for all of that to take place, all right, all of it to take place. If not, guess what? Here's our zone that we look for, and we can get it in that zone. But I like always waiting for your CTAs to take place. All right. Here's consolidation, guys. Look. So let's look at this again. All right. Omar likes, here's consolidation that's happening right here. Right. Right. Then we have potential manipulation. It broke outside of the consolidation. Right. Right. And we're pushing it down. And now that we get a continuation, look what happened last time. Broke out. Pushed up, came back down, continuation before the slam, right? So possibly the same exact thing. So what we're going to do now real quick, all right, real quick, we're going to come here, all right, and I want to show you guys real quick, all right, if you have your broker, all right, I need you to go ahead and put the lot size that suffice for you, all right? You're going to put the lot size, red CTA, right? Green CTA. Blue is for a call. Sell is for red is for sell. All right, you're gonna change your lot size. All right, you're gonna put your position in when it's time. Man, sheesh. I'm just giving an example, guys. All right, I'm giving an example. You put your position in. You put your stop loss. All right, we're just gonna aim for like 50, so I can give an example here. All right, we're gonna put a 50 pip stop loss. All right, we're gonna do a 50 pip. Man, that would have been nasty entry right there. It came back to our zone. That would have been nasty, but we didn't get the CTA. It's okay. So, guys, look, this is what a trade looks like. All right, we have a stop loss at the bottom. We have a take profit up top. You have your entry. If you're not doing this, guys, you're gambling, right? You're gambling. Don't let the market trick you enough to think that what we built here is so good that you can't lose. No, right? No, that's not how it works. You literally have to set your take profit and your stop loss. You should be able to see them on the board based off your support and resistance zones, right? This is what's forcing us to do what we're doing. So make sure you have your targets and everything is set. And guys, if it all fails, you're like, man, I'm not really sure what's happening. Look, just go close the trade. But at the bottom of your trade, I want to show you guys, you're going to have the market, you're going to have what you did, the lot size, which will determine how much you get paid, right? It's going to show how much profits you're in. The most important one for me, guys, is the amount of pips you have collected right here. So far, the market has given you 28 pips, right? And you can go to price open, what your stop loss is, your TP, all the way down to the right, to the timing, right? All the way down, all the way to the timing. And guess what? Look, we went from 28, 30 pips down to 19. You have the ability to do this and close the trade on any trade. Guys, trading is that simple. You put a position in, you're in profits, you're managing the trade, whether the CTA told you band to band or band to non-band. The moment you enter a trade that becomes a winning trade, from that point on, we don't lose that trade, right? We're not going to let that trade come back and retrace, go back to zero. We got 30 pips. There's no reason why we need to give up the 30 pips. All right, no reason why we need to give it up. Let's see. All right, we got a nice green candle that just pushed off of here. All right, take a look at that. All right, take a look at that. Came in. All right, it wicked right into that wick area zone. All right, and guys, that's for all my people who missed the CTA, or you weren't confident enough to take the CTA because you were nervous. All right, let the CTA flow in front of you and just put a box, and that box is your entry zone. When it comes back to that box, you got to hit the button, right? You missed the rest of the CTA. From right there, you got to jump in, all right? So remember we talked about CTA, that we're going to get a retracement. So be conscious, right? That candle wasn't a red candle, right? It wasn't a red candle, right? So you got to be patient. Look, green, and then we got the red to come down, right? That was a wick. All right, look, this wick came down and did the same thing this one did. And then the next candle, look what happened. The next candle came back and it touched our area, right? So there's never a time where we miss a trade. It's just a time we have to readjust and we get prepared, right? But guys, this also comes with taking multiple CTAs so that you're able to identify which ones are good for you, which ones are not good for you, right? All right, look, we're getting some CTA action here, right? Look what happened last time, right? Look what happened last time, and we're just gonna let it work, all right? We're gonna let it work. All right, so let's put this here. Guys, give me if you have your broker, right? If you have your broker and you're gonna bust this trade if we see it, can I get a CTA in the chat? Come on, CTA. Boom. All right, how many pips? 90. All right. We got 7 minutes. All right. Look at that push up. Look at that push up. All right. Look at that push up, guys. Again, don't push yourself in too soon. Look, every move that happens always gets retraced. All right. Every move that happens always gets retraced before the big move happens, right? Every move that takes place always gets retraced before the takeover, right? Every move that happens gets retraced before the real pump, right? Knowing what we know about what happens to every move, don't be excited to try to pump your money in there, right? Don't be too excited about to try to pump, all right? And look, we might have this might be a nice little healthy drop right here. All right, so guys, take a look. All right, price looks like it's starting to kind of titty, right? So we're gonna see. We have a couple of minutes left here till 11. All right. Remember, we don't need to see this from only from one side. All right. Possibly expecting a retracement. So guess what? I can get ready for this in the next 7 minutes. All right, and we'll see what price does. But we can do boom, 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 hit this area, and then ultimately fizzle down, right? And come back for the retest. So guess what? If we get a CTA, we might participate on that one too and let our stop loss do the work, right? And let your stop loss do the work. Look, here's a sign something's happening. Like we got a big major push. Then the next candle didn't go nowhere. Next candle didn't go nowhere. Next candle didn't go nowhere. What? It just began to show us a little mini consolidation move, right? Right there. Here's what that move looked like if you want to literally put a box on it and look, right? And obviously, if we go back to retrace, it will make sense that this will break down and come back in that area, right? But all we care about, guys, is wait for your CTAs to play out, and then you can participate in your CTAs. And if all fails, you just set up a stop loss, 50 pip stop loss, right? When you see a CTA, you're like, man, it looked good. I'm unsure. I'm not unsure. Look, just put a 50 pip stop loss and take the trade, right? Don't get caught up in, oh, I don't know, try to make it perfect. Set up 50 pip stop loss and bust the trade, right? Bust the trade. So we have 5 minutes for the candle, for this candle to completely close out. All right, on the 15-minute, and then we have a couple of minutes on the 1 minute. So we're gonna keep an eye. All right, we're gonna keep an eye. All right, and then we're gonna see if it does what we did, what we want it to do. All right, if it does what we want it to do. All right, and if you're ever looking to find CTAs, guys, all right, it's very imperative that when you're looking for the CTA, just also watch the candle patterns, right? Look, this CTA right here is not really for us. Our CTA pivots and it goes 1, 2, 3 right away. Look, one red candle, green, green, red, 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 right? That's not really our CTA. Personally, I don't want you to get caught up in trying to take this because this is the one we're searching for, right? This is what we're searching for, straight there. This is what we're searching for, straight there, right? This is what, this one is kind of teeted a little bit. Obviously, it's all about timing, right? It's all about timing. But this is what realistically, we want to stay away from these right here, right? And we don't want to be a part of this because this is us chasing all of that, right? We just want to go with the bounces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If it don't go down, guess what? You don't need it. That's not your trade. It's so simple, right? It's so simple. So guys, remember we said it's going to consolidate. After major moves like this, we can't expect the market just to fly back to the area we were in, right? Someone forced this to happen, used billions of dollars. When they get down here, they may not be in the market anymore. They might have pulled their trade. Hence why you're seeing price pull back. You're seeing buyers kick in, right? Before this thing could just take off, you got to collect more orders, right? Trading is about money. We got to collect money before we go to the next step. So with that being said, guys, they have to try to collect as much as you can. They're usually collecting us, the retail traders, money, right? Because we're the impulse traders, right? We're the ones they allow to do whatever we want because the banks are confined to certain things they can do or they can't do. The bank just can't look at it and say, oh, this looks good. Let me trade this position. That's not how it works, right? There's a lot more factors for them than us. We're the ones who say, oh, click, 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 and then they come wash it up, right? So we don't want to get caught up in that. All right, we don't want to get caught up in that. And guys, like I always say, look, we came into the market right here, 15, 15, right? 15. So we're going into 30 minutes pretty much of being in the market, all right? And actually being active on the market, about 30 minutes, right? So we have 1, 2, which will literally you have to give yourself guidelines, right? And if you don't start seeing them, guys, some of the things that I recommend is you either set an alert or you just walk away for a little bit and come back, right? The more you stare at this chart, the high probability you make a bad mistake. All right, but you start making bad mistakes, high probability. All right, so we don't want to do that either. All right, let's go here. All right, boom. That's our little consolidation zone. All right, you guys can see price pushed out of that little consolidation zone. All right, and obviously we expect it to fall back down, come back to our little area. All right. Some people used to ask me, Omar, how come you don't trade? If you knew this was going to possibly come down, how come you don't trade it? Well, I don't know. I'm predicting it was going to slow down there based off the patterns that it gave me, and then I'm looking at. But the real prediction that I want is down here, so that I can collect all the 100 that was given. Right. So there's about 80 pips that was given out from this point. Right. I really wanted to come back so I can collect the rest. Right. But I really don't want to force myself to try to collect something that's not available for me, right? Which is important, guys. It's very important. So we got 1 minute left. 1 minute left on this candle. It's going to be 11 o'clock. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see what happens. 1 minute left. All right, we need that red candle. All right, here's that 15-minute red candle. So based off our past, this would be our first red candle. We're going to predict that's what's going to happen based off what gold has done in the past, right? 1, 2, come back red, pick us up, and potentially continue for the move, right? So let's assume the pattern stays the same. All right, 15-minute break, and we'll try to do the same exact thing. We would do the closeout of that candle, all right? The closeout of that candle, and we're going to see it. Let's see it. All right, 14 minutes. All right. And guys, while I'm here, if you're able to do this and stick with it, right? Look, the market, when it starts to consolidate, it will tell you what it's about to do, right? Look, it came to a spot for the first time on a trend. It literally halted. It didn't keep going. Look, all of these keep dropping, push, drop, push, drop. For the first time, it bounced in this area, right? Until it pivoted back. All right. That's areas. First time it bounced before it pivot. That's the mindset, guys. I want you to, when you're trading, don't pay attention to the money. Stop looking at money. All right. The only thing you need to see is right here. If you want to look at money, where are you to your target? Because that's what's going to really matter, right? And then pay attention to what the candles are doing, because they're going to guide you to the winning trade, or they're going to guide you to not taking that losing trade, all right? They're going to guide you there. And most people, they want to win the trade so bad, you forget about the entire guide, right? We don't want to do that, all right? So look, here's that 15 minutes, right? We didn't chase it. All right, we anticipated that it's just going to do the same exact thing. So we're going to let it come down, right? And look, it's happening, and we want the CTA to happen, right? So if the CTA takes place, this is our baby, right? This is our baby, right? And it's going to come down to that area that we marked up, right? Remember, guys, this is the wick area, right? Remember that. That's the wick area. So we want it to come down to that place. And that's what we'd be looking for. So it's 11:02. All right, we got CTA happening. All right, we still haven't hit the inside that zone yet. Right, so be patient. 12:14 is on the board. 12:14. Man, all right, guys. That's why we don't rush into trades. All right, that's why we don't rush into trades. Imagine if you chase that. Instead of waiting for it to be patiently come right now, you'd be down over 100, close to 70 pips, all right? You would be down 70 pips, and Lord, God forbid if you did over leverage that trade, all right? What just happened, all right? What just happened? All right, man, she didn't even tap. What's happening right now? All right, guys, 11 minutes left, so we're not gonna let that thing do that and push us, right? So We want to be patient, right? That would have been what? What just happened right now? Sheesh. All right. Sheesh. All right. We're gonna be patient on this because we're not gonna do that. All right. They're not gonna trick us. They're not gonna trick us. We got is 11:03. All right. It's 11:03. All right. We're gonna let this candle expire and see what they do. All right. It's a red candle, guys. 15-minute is overall a red candle. So we don't really want to push ourselves in, but let's take a look. Oh. Look at that. It didn't even, guys, look at this. All right, look at this. It didn't even tap our zone. All right, look at that. All right, it didn't even tap our zone. What is it doing right now? All right, treating us like amateurs out here. All right, no, we don't get fooled like that. What's wrong with this? All right. All right. I'm going to put this right here, guys. Trading, guys, is you versus me, us versus them. All right. Now, being that is you versus me, if I have a lot of money under my belt, I can do a lot of things in the market. All right. I can manipulate, do a lot of changes in the market. All right. And that's nuts. And this thing literally wicked out the entire drop and back up. All right. It wicked out. And it clearly didn't do what we wanted it to do. All right, look at this thing. All right, we missed it by a few. But guys, I'm that anal, all right, about my trading. I'm literally that anal. So take a look. We really missed it coming into our zone by about like 20 pips. All right, 20 pips. All right, it wasn't our confirmation. All right, it was inside, as you guys can see. So we're not even gonna force into it. And remember, as you guys can see here, right, we're in a nice little consolidation zone. So it's really wise not to just to pump in. All right, pump in. So it looks like we're doing a consolidation, right? We can focus on catching them, or we can really focus on our setup. All right. And man, our setup has literally came back, pushed up. It almost tapped out zone. It didn't tap it to pick us up, and then did a continuation and just continue. You son of a guns. You son of a guns. All right, you son of a guns. Sheesh, look at that. All right, look at that, guys. Look at that. All right, 1, 2, 3 came back. And just like anything, guys, if you missed, all right, I'm the type, it didn't do what I was looking for exactly. So guess what? It wasn't my trade. But if you want to chase this, all you have to do is do exactly what we wait for the green candle to finish out, come back in on the red candle, let it drop, right? Look, you wait for the green, red candle, gave you opportunity to get in. Then we pushed up for 30 more minutes. Then guess what? A red candle came back, retraced whatever you saw, half of whatever you saw came back, right? Then you went green candle, then it came back, gave you what you saw. So remember, whatever you see is going to potentially push back from it, right? So there's no reason why we need to like force ourselves to go make this money. All right, guys. And take a look. It came back down, right back to that area, right, with the little boxes, right? It came back and it swept that liquidity. All right, let me clean that box up. All right, clean that box up. And guys, it already hit a roof right here, right? So technically, you wouldn't have wanted to try to get into this. You would want to wait till it hit the next roof, right? Look, roof right here, right? Second roof here. But if it tapped it here, and it retapped it again, came back to go retap it, I mean, we could possibly expect to see something break, all right? Boom, 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 boom. All right, and it tapped it right here, as you guys can see. it's finally breaking, right? And it's okay that it breaks. All we have to do, guys, is be patient enough and just catch it, right? When it comes back down and drop. Yeah. All right. And this is why preparation is key, guys. We came in, 15, 20 minutes earlier. We would be nice. This would have been a nice setup for us to actually physically see without having to check all the other parameters, because you would have been prepared for them, right? And you would have caught yourself a possibly nice little bag. If you held, you're over 150 pips. So while we're here, all right, let's take a look at it. All right, 100. So guys, take a look. Right here, even though we didn't catch this move, this is a move right here. All right, a penny to $10 right there. 5 pennies to 50 is right here. Right, $1 to $100 is right here. Right, $5 to $500 is right here. $10 to $1,000. Right, you made $1,000 for the first time, and it took you 45 minutes to make $1,000 using $10. Right. I mean, it don't get any better than that. All right, it don't get any better than that. All right, it don't get any better than that. All right, guys, that's how amazing this thing is. So we have 4 minutes and 51 seconds. All right, 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Let's see what happens here. All right, possibly get a nice CTA up top here that we can possibly see if we can get some pips out of. Right, we did 50 pips already. It retraced the 50 pips. Right, we got another 50. So guess what? We can see it to pull a little bit more and give us a retracement. All right, all we gotta do is sit down and be patient and let the trade come to us. All right, if you don't ask, oh, what if I should get in? Just sit down and be patient. All right, you will know when to get in. All right, so take a look. We got a CTA happening. I actually like this. All right. Right here is our roof. All right, so we just broke a roof. All right, we just broke the roof. All right, we got the CTA. All right, here's the CTA. Right, and guys, take a look. All right, I'm not a fan of this CTA. It barely broke the band. Right, some of you guys want to see the CTA so bad. I'm looking for a clear break outside of the band, right? Clear break. All right, don't get fooled. Give yourself a clear break and then take it, right? Clear break. All right, that is not clear. Look, barely touched it, right? Barely touched it. All right, even though what just happened, it don't matter. You barely touched it. All right, get comfortable with guys taking the right setups. All right, get comfortable. All right, it barely touched it. Barely. All right, barely. All right, barely touched it. Barely. So even though you saw the CTA happen, in my opinion, it just barely did anything. Right. Right. And if you take this CTA, right, high probability says you're going to lose a lot of them. Why? Because this setup don't usually hit the entire time. Right. Right. The clear break. Look right here. Right. It tapped it for a little break. 1, 2, 3. You hit your stop loss. Right. Hit your stop loss. Clear break is what we're looking for. Right. Clear break and re-entry. Right. Don't force yourself to do anything. Look right here. Tapped. It looked like a break, and then when it hit your stop loss, and then it did the move you're looking for. All right. So some of them you want to miss, some of them you want to stick with. But if you stay patient with it, guys, I promise you, you're gonna lead yourself into the right one. Right. It's 11:15. Let's see what happens. All right. 11:15. We got 2 minutes. Right. 2 minutes, guys. Remember, we still haven't seen a red retracement candle. All right. On the 15-minute. We still haven't seen a red retracement candle. We've seen a whole bunch of wicks. We haven't seen red. All right. So guess what? Until I see that red come back to pick up liquidity, I really don't want to ride this thing. Right. And guys, I want you to know that if I take my thing from right here to here, there's about 270 pips available to you, right? So we already saw 100 go in front of us. So guess what? The market just don't move 270 pips. It's going to move the 100, come back, and does a continuation. So knowing what we know, it gave us a little piece of the hand. All we have to do is be patient enough and understand where can we execute and come back and get into the setup, right? Where can we do that, right? And we just got to be patient, right? Remember I said the price is consolidating, so we might see a couple taps up and down, up and down. Is just being patient enough to be able to wait for the up and down, all right? Being able to wait for it. And again, guys, I didn't want that CTA personally. You're more than welcome to, on your own, take it, set a 50 pip stop loss, all right, and do your thing. But for me, it's bigger than just jumping into anything. I want to jump into only the ones that make sense, right? Only the ones that follow all the rules, and that's the ones I want to participate. All the other ones, I've already gone through the testing phase for myself. So for some of you guys, go through your testing phase and get that squared away so that you're able to say, you know what, that's not the one. I can come back later on and get into my positions, right? And boom, all right. And look, guys, remember I said I like this one because it had just broke the roof. All right, remember, we little consolidation, pushed out, pushed, right, manipulation, and then their continuation, right? So did all of that manipulating for all of the shabazz, right? We got, here's a 15-minute candle. If you guys notice, it started as a red candle, a green candle, pushed back down, went green, and officially turned red right here, right? Last second got pushed out. Last second got pushed out. All right, so same thing. Same thing. We said we are going to wait for the red candle to come out and potentially give us what we needed to do. All right. So just be patient, guys. Don't force yourself into it. All right. We're going to give it about 15 more minutes and see if we can find this nice position. Last week, we literally looked for a position. We didn't get in, guys, at 12:30, which was like almost an hour after we get off. The position did exactly what we said, and it took off. It just happened an hour after our eyes saw it, right? So sometimes we have to be conscious, like, yo, we might not get the trade we're looking for right away, and we got to be patient enough on it, right? All you have to do, guys, is sit your butt down on a chair, right? Dedicate the time. Remember, we said, look, I got 2 more 15-minute boxes, right? So I have about 45 minutes total realistically to here. So I'm here till about 12:30. Guys, all you have to do is sit your butt down and literally pay attention to what the market is telling you. We already put the area we were interested in that we wanted it to come down. Every time price gets to that area, it starts shooting up, right? We just got to be patient and then let it come to us. If it doesn't, guys, we close the laptop. We say, today is not the day. Tomorrow we'll come back in. If tomorrow is not the day, look, right? And I want you guys to understand, if we're going to make $1,000 to put this trade in, right, I have potentially the whole day to put it in, right? I don't have just an hour, right? I have the whole day to find the position, right? Because in 15, 20 minutes, like we showed here, we can make the 1,000. So guess what happened? All I have to do ultimately is find the right one, right? Look, you could have danced around all of this dancing, all of this dancing, all of this dancing, and then all of a sudden you got the right one right there, right? It came into that area zone, it did everything, and then it literally dropped, right? You had missed this CTA right here, so you probably was all panicked. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Guess what? It came down, it did it one more time, and then it dropped, all right? So to me, I can anticipate possibly the same thing, so I'll run with it, right? I don't know. Guys, anyone have any questions? All right, throw me any questions in the chat. All right. If you have a question, please throw it in the chat for me. All right. If you have a question, please throw it in the chat for me. All right. All right, guys, take a look. All right, price is coming to this zone area right here. And even though it breaks through, it does all of the stuff that it wants to do. And ends up wicking back all the way back to that area, right? So an area to keep an eye on, right? Make sure we don't get caught up and slammed. But regardless of that, our entries would be down here or our entry would be up here. So we wouldn't even have to worry about all of this noise that's happening right here. All right. And guys, I personally like to always, I'm not a big trader on this, right? But I'll tell you guys this, all right? I wouldn't mind catching 100 pips right here, right? This is about 60 pips right here if everything aligned, right here, right? If it aligns, why not catch it, right? But don't go chasing for it. All right, come on. Come on. In simple terms, what is a CTA? CTA is it's a call to action. Call to action. All right, so it's call to action. So when you see this CTA, that means the market is finally calling you, and whatever trend you were looking at is potentially getting ready to reverse, and vice versa, up to down, right? So if you were in the market here, you would do nothing. Your hands would literally be doing nothing and watching. When you get here for the first time, you got a CTA. Now your eyes are now watching to potentially look for a position to get in, right? Here, we're just watching and surveying, making sure it's in our areas and our zones. Here, when that pop, we're looking for a position to get in with a possible 50 pip stop loss, right? That's what a CTA is, call to action. It's time to play, right? It's time to play. That's what that CTA means, right? So anytime you see a CTA, get excited. Don't over leverage like I see some people doing, right? Just be patient enough just to watch what happens and find your nice position entry, and you're gonna make a lot of money, right? Just right here to here, right? It's 87 pips, 87. So you're literally from this 1,000 right here, 8,700, right? You're gonna be closer to what? Instead of 5, like 3 and change, right? 100 pips, you're $87, right? So guys, it's just this little move is enough to retire you from work with the right lot size, right? This right here is 1,000. This right here is 1,000. You made $2,000 already in 30 minutes. You can sit here. This one right here is probably about 4,000 if you were to catch this entire move. So just from here to here to here with the proper lot size and the proper execution, guys, we could be up almost 10K, right? Almost 10K. It might take you 1 year to 2 years to get comfortable enough to be able to take this setup. But I'm here to tell you, you can literally have the 10K, right? The money is right there flowing for you. You have to wait for the right time, execute, and the money is yours, right? Or you can go chasing it and lose it all and give it back to the market, right? And I don't believe in giving back. I'm a firm believer of if you extract it, it's yours forever, right? Go give it away, charity, do something that's going to keep your brain from thinking that this is just a game, because this is not a game, guys. This is real life, right? When we're playing with money in real life, we're account managers. That's what we are. Your account, you're the manager for your account, your $5 account, your $100 account, your $1 billion account. Think of your account as a $1 billion account, and you get to handle that, man. You get to manage that. You're a hedge fund account within yourself, right? So that you don't disrespect the $500, $200 you have in your account, because that 200 is as strong as the person who has 200K in their account. The only difference between you two is the behaviors that you guys have, right? The behaviors. To build a 200K account, guys, it's just behaviors. It has nothing to do with making money, right? You do the right behaviors, everything falls in line. If you don't do them, then guess what? You're kind of in trouble. All right. We have 6 minutes, guys. All right. We're going to be ending on this right here, and then we'll work on what the setup is for the remaining of the couple of minutes. Right. And we're going to work on that. So let me just grab this. All right. Guys, check it out. All right, check it out. I'm going to show you guys this while look what's happening again. All right, boom. Look, I remember before we created that little box. All right, take a look. That's why I love sometimes when you're trading price action, you can really start to see what's happening in the market. Look what happened, right? Look, guys, they gave us this pattern before the drop, and look what it just did. Look what it did. It gave us the same pattern, right? Same pattern. The only way to identify these patterns, you gotta stop and pay attention. It takes your markup, your chart up, right? To stop in certain areas to be like, okay, well, let me pay attention here, right? It stops you from taking a call right here where you were thinking that I'm gonna chase this price, and they caught you on taking a call up here, and guess what happened? The price started pushing back down, right? Or you could have got a better entry by just clearly waiting, by seeing the support and resistance and say, you know what, we're gonna wait for the support to break the area before we look for any entry, right? If I want to go up top and do a call, I want to make sure I get the bottom position, and if I want to take a sell, I want to make sure I get a top position, right? It's literally that simple. It's being able to identify it in real time. All right. We got 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes. All right. We're going to see if it comes out and gives us another CTA. All right. Here's a rally, guys. All right. Here's a price is trying to make a rally right now. So we're going to see if this rally happens. All right. All right. Here is the last rally the price has made. It came to this area and it broke that area. So guess what? This 15-minute candle, right? If this is truly a rally to go back in continuation, that candle would need to go and retest that area, right? If it don't get to that area and it comes back to our little zone right here, that's confirmation that, look, we may not be ready for the up top continuation, right? It's that simple. All right, but again, we are looking for this right here. All right, we're never going to see a whole bunch of consolidation because we want to see it just take off. All of this is not part of our trade. You can see side to side to side. We don't do side to side to side. We come straight down, go straight up, right? The whole side to side to side, instantly you identify you're in a consolidation market. And guess what? You stop looking for major profits and you shrink yourself down and understand you just need to get in and out of the market, in and out of the market, right? And after all of that is done, then we look for the real trades and the noise. But until we get done with consolidation, guess what? You just got to sit back and relax. All right, we have 3 minutes. All right, we got 3 minutes. And if we break this zone right here, guys, that's the great thing. That means this trade is going to continue on the 15 minutes. Look, 15-minute, we break that zone. Here's TP. Guess what? We can come back, let it break. And remember, we said it's going to retest, right? We want the retest, and then we can lock in the retest is going to be the major continuation. All right, guys? All right, the retest, look, it pushed up. It came back for the retest, and then it pushed up, all right? Man. All right, come on. 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes. We're gonna get out of here. All right, guys. We didn't catch a position. It's okay. All right. I want everybody to get comfortable with getting on the charts and not doing anything. All right. Don't force it. You didn't lose today. You didn't win today. That's a real win, realistically, in my book. All right. And like I said, try not to force any of your trades. If it don't align, if you didn't catch them, all right, it's not a day to get sad or to get mad. And shout out to Anthony. Anthony is my primary example for this. It's not the time to get mad. It's the time to understand that Today is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. If you don't catch it tomorrow, we have Sunday. If you don't catch it Sunday, you have Monday. If you don't have Monday, you have Tuesday. You just need to catch one of them and actually understand how to position your lot size the right way, right here. All right, guys? Understanding this and catching one move is all you need, right? And you are golden. All right. You don't have to try to replace any crazy income. You don't got to go make income that you've never made. Just guys, start with, and I'll leave you guys with this. Look at your job income. All right. Look at your job income and say, can I replace my job income? And how much do I need to replace my job income? This lot size right here, what do I need to get closer to my job income? Right? See, before I left my job, my career, guys, I had made 3 times my entire year's salary before I said, you know what, I need to make a move, right? Before I need to make a crazy move. So I want everybody to do the same thing. I literally recommend this for you. Go see how much you get paid an hour, how many hours you need to put in to make that, right? How many minutes do you need to do to make that? And once you start, you can do that multiple times, right? And you accumulate your cash, then you can start having the thoughts of leaving my job. All right, guys, your job is the only thing keeping you trading and alive right now. That's it. All right, that's your job. It's the only thing keeping you trading and alive. Anything else, guys, is literally just kind of finesse. Your job is giving you capital so that you can go manage the capital, right? If you master this and you master it fast, you can finally start looking at your job income as real serious potential income. See, guys, right now, we look at our job income as income just to pay the bills, right? This is where we separate ourselves from and look to go get rich and wealthy comparing to being middle class and poor, right? Guys, your income is not just to pay your bills, just so you understand. Your income is income you sacrifice your hours for to literally go invest first, like the wealthy, and then go pay bills afterwards, right? If you pay all your bills and you have nothing left over, you literally you're messing up the entire pendulum. It's you take your cash, you reinvest your cash, it's 2K, you reinvest it. I can take this 2K, flip it to another 2K, then take my 2K out and go pay some bills. I'm up 2K and I'm leveraged. But if I took this 2K right now and I went and I paid all my bills with it and I have nothing left, I can't even trade this week. I can't live trade. Why? Because I have no money left, right? And the reason why you're doing that is because you don't trust yourself right now, right? Because guys, I'm telling you right now, there's no amount of money that I'm getting paid that I can't rinse and repeat in the market. So if I'm going to work and I'm making $30,000 a year, I'm able to at least take $500 to $1,000 and maybe make another 30,000 off of that same $500, right? I'm not using that to go pay all my bills and have nothing left. See, 30,000 is not enough for average person to live. But if they took 500 to 1,000 or 2,000 of the 30 and they knew what to do with it, they can do so much more. All right, guys. And I'm here to tell you, this is what we all need to be doing. So I challenge everybody in this community, while you're trading, you need to have a goal of where you're going, where do you want to be financially, how much money you want to make, all of that. I need you to be able to answer it so that you have a vision, clear idea. So when you start losing trades, you don't get caught up in seeing the money. You get caught up in seeing, okay, well, I'm X amount of trades for my true freedom. All right. But guys, it's 11:32. All right. Oh, look. Oh, hold up, guys. You see that? Oh my God, this is why I love. This is why I love trading. All right. This is why I love it. All right. That's why I love it. Why? Look, it took us 1, 2, 3, 4. It took us an hour to wait and sit down and literally think for price to slam all the way back down. All right. Slam all the way back down. All right. Let's see. And for everybody here, I want you guys to see this. Let's say you took the CTA right here. All right, look, your take profit was right here. band to band, right? Band to band. If you expected anything out of this thing, you lost 180 pips, 120 pips almost. If you expected anything out of this, you lost your 1,000. So guys, look, you went and made $1,200, and you wanted more than the 1,200 that was offered out to you, following the strategy, right? Band to middle band, and then you let it go on a little bit longer, and guess what happened to you guys? Look, you lost it all in one freaking candle, right? You lost it all in literally 1, 2, 3 minutes, all right? And they came right back to our zone, all right? Came right back to our zone. So guess what? This would be our entry zone, right? So we would wait for this candle to close. It came back in there. It tapped it. You want to wait, all right? If you guys noticed, it didn't come like it did before. It came in 1, 2, 3 minutes outside of like 17, 18 minutes. We have 23 seconds, all right? 23 seconds, all right? So after the 23 seconds, let's see what we can do here. We might be able to push into this, all right? Might be able to push into this wick right here, all right? Might be able to push into this 43. I know, guys, it's not on the 15. Is okay, right? I know it's not on the 15. We just got 3 manipulation candles, right? So we had the CTA come out, right? It pushed up, right? There's no wick, all right? As you guys can see, there's no wick, right? So there's not really an option to think. So just be patient, all right? All right. Be patient. We want a clear break. Here's that clear break. All right. That clear break. We got 9 minutes on the 9 minutes on the 15 left. And we are in a 1 minute. All right. And guys, take a look at this. All right. If you guys notice this looks completely different than the ones that we saw here, where it was coming to bounce and then bounce, right? Completely different. All right. So we're not impulse traders. All right. 12 seconds. Here's our zone, right? It's coming into our zone. It's rejecting in our zone, which is great, right? Which is great. So we have, what, 2 seconds. Boom. All right, boom. Right there. All right, it's going to be... Boom, boom. All right, and you have the option of the wick right here. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go 50. All right, that's stop loss. All right, and here would be TP1 would be here, right? Remember TP1 right here. So look, this would be technically potential entry zone down here, right? On that wick, TP1. All right, I'm going to type TP1. TP1. Need this line right here. All right, and then we go to right here. All right, we got potential TP2. All right, so potential TP2. All right, right there. And we pull this all the way up. All right, all the way up. And we want to make sure, guys, look, for the first time, it just came back into our re-entry zone right here. All right, so boom. So if you were looking to get in this trade right now, guys, would be 1038. All right, would be ultimately that would have been it right there. Right, here's your wick. Right, we got in right there. Let's just say we're gonna get in right there. Let me put my positioned in there, perfecto mundo, right? And you have your 50 pip stop loss, right? You have your TP area, right? 50 pip stop loss in your TP area. It's the only things you need. Guys, from this point on, you don't have to do nothing else, right? You don't have to do anything else. All you have to do now is let it run, right? All you have to do now is let it run, all right? All you have to do now is your stop loss, 50 pips, my TP. I'd like to go to my second level, and then I'll hold on to it, right? That's my stop loss right there. That's my entry, right? And it's that simple. Nothing else you got to do. Nothing else, right? You got the retracement. I got the CTA. I got the line, right? I got the price action came back. I got in on the red candle, not the green candle, right? Price is gonna do the whole fluctuation and playing around. I have the option that I'm looking at. I can say, you know what? I don't need to lose 50 pips. Guess what? I can do it. I can go ahead and lose X amount. It don't gotta be 50. So I'm monitoring my trade from this point on, right? Monitoring it. I'm not afraid that I'm going to lose money. I have 50 pips on the board. So technically, here, I'm going to tell you guys what my risk would be about 300 bucks, right? 300 bucks. See, when some of you guys are losing, $5, $6, I'm losing 300 to put the trade in to potentially it be the trade that I'm looking for, 300, right? You're going to lose $5 and $10. That's why I love the beginning of the trading, because guess what? It's better to lose $5 while you're learning than to lose $300, $400, right? If you lost $300, $400 all the time, you're probably not going to want to trade ultimately, all right? And guys, if you didn't get in this position, it's okay. Look, we still have 4 minutes and 19 seconds left on the position, right? Still a lot of wiggle room potentially to keep going and dropping, right? But I'm a firm believer of once I get what I'm looking for, guess what? I can't doubt it anymore, right? Because my confidence comes from the success that I've had in taking the positions and taking the trades. So what does that mean? That means you have to lose that trade with the idea of having your stop loss so that you can feed your confidence. See, if I don't take the positions, what's going to happen is I'm going to lose confidence in myself, guys, right? Now, what happens later, tomorrow or something, what's going to happen is a position is going to come and I'm not going to take it because I'm scared, right? I'm going to try to remind myself of the loss that I experienced now and then be like, oh, no, that's too much, right? We don't need that. So we want to be able to clear the trade and lose the trade is the same as we took the trade. The beauty of this is a controlled loss. What does that mean? That means by the time it gets down here, I knew that this was the amount I was willing to risk. I knew this is how much I'm looking to take profits, right? That's literally, it's that simple, guys. It's so simple, it's hard, right? It's so simple, it's hard. All right, we got prices at 45. This is our 40, 45 is our stop loss area right there is a key level, right? And guys, I'm a firm believer of, guess what? If you lose a trade and you go back for your setup and your setup keep happening, guess what? You might have to go 2-3 times, right? You might have to go 2-3 times. I lost 50, but guys, look what's happening. As price is coming towards my stop loss, guess what? Right? Look, now it's instead of it being 87 pips to clear, it's 94 pips if I catch it at the bottom lower, right? To get back to TP, now it's 140 pips and not just, we just added another almost 50 pips to our name, right? Just by being patient and waiting, all right? But nevertheless, we're in the trade, all right, guys, we're in the trade. And look, our stop loss is down here. Price started coming towards our stop loss and we didn't panic. All right, we didn't panic. We just let it do what it do, right? That's literally it. Most people right here would have been looking to try to cancel this trade. I don't want to lose it. I'm going to try to save the money. Like, nah, bro, let it go. We win some, like my man Pops on Friday says, we win some, we lose some, but we live to fight another day. We win some, we lose some, but we live to fight another day. Guys, that's trading. You don't need to do anything spectacular, anything amazing. You simply need to put the position in, have your targets, have where you want to get out, and then be patient enough to let it work, right? We were in the market for how long? Let me see. We got 15, 30, 45, 1 hour, 1 hour 15, 1 hour 30. So we've been in the market for about an hour and 30 minutes. Hour and 30 minutes. It took us, we saw some nice positions come and go, right? Nice position come and go. But then we found a position right as we were getting ready to get off. That's how I love trading. Right as we were getting ready to get off, guess what happened? A positioned itself. And we said, you know what? This might be a good one. Let's go see what's up. All right. And we're going to let it run and take a look. We let her run, right? She came. We got in right here, right? We could have really waited a little bit more, but not really. If you waited, guys, take a look. If you waited any longer than this, technically based off our CTA, it would have knocked you out because I didn't get a CTA. I didn't get a CTA. I didn't get a CTA. I got the CTA right here, right? By getting a CTA here, here's my 50 pip stop loss. It never really came back to hit my 50 pip stop loss. All right, it never did. All right. So because it never did, guess what? To us, that's winning, right? That's winning. So let's see where is it at. All right. Remember, we got in 1, 2, 3. It went 3 candles down, right? I'm a firm believer. If you go on the fifth candle, if you're not in profit, like yo, close the trade. That's not our trade, right? I got 50 pips. If it would have went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and going into it in reverse from this point on, guys, that's not my trade. I'm probably gonna look to get rid of it. All right, I don't need it. Even right now, as we're pushing around and playing, guess what? Right, it's coming back to that area. It's not really our trade because our trade goes right in our direction. So guess what? It's not our trade, right? So what we could do is we can clip it early if you wanted to, with the option to clip early, right? If not, be like me, guys. I just like to lose the money. That's it, right? I don't like to do the whole dancing around. Like, yo, if I put the trade in, I'm already prepared to lose. I was prepared to lose 3 and change, right? When I sit down, I'm not afraid to lose the cash. I gotta win. I gotta literally lose some to make a lot. So the key is how can I lose the control losses so that I can have my control wins, right? The key word, guys, is controlled on both sides. Keywords, right? Both sides are controlled. All right. So let's see what happens here, and I'll turn my thing here as it gets closer to my stop loss so we can all watch it happen, right? If you want to record it, you can, right? Just so everybody understand, not every day is a winning day. That's part of the journey, right? But being able to accept that today was a losing day is going to be the difference of you really being successful at this or not, all right? For everybody looking, look, right here, we stopped. The market stopped. We're at 38 pips down. We're down $231, right? And we not worried about it. All right. We not worried about it. All right. We not worried about it. Look. All right. Came back to that area that was at before. Guys, I'm not putting any more positions in for all my people who like to put a 1,000,001 positions in the market. All right. I'm not putting any more positions in the market. None whatsoever. All right. We're not putting any more positions in the market. All right. So it's either going to come clip us, or this would be the trade that's going to go out and hit TP1 and then hit TP2. All right. And you guys can see TP2 has been shaded down. All right. All right. Here's TP areas. All right. I can slide this down right here. Technically, that's my TP2 area. So we want to be in, here's TP1 from looking at the 15. All right, boom, boom. I'm going to bring this in here. All right. And take a look, guys. All right. This is what trading looks like, guys. This is real trading, right? We have an entry zone selected. We have a stop loss pre-selected. We have take profit predetermined selected. We have take profit to predetermined selected, right? This is what trading looks like, guys. Right now, you muster up enough energy to let trading take place and do its thing, and you let this work, right? See, here's my stop loss. Here's where price is at. I'm not afraid of this thing slamming down and getting me out. Old Omar would be afraid because guess what? I wanted to make the money that I put up here to make. So TP area is at $492 for TP area, right? Guess what? The new Omar now understands more about trading, that if I lost 300 and I made 450, I'm actually up $150, right? Before, the loss of 300 would hurt me enough to lose sight of that I'm up $150 difference. So I want to hold on to that, right? Our objective here, guys, is not to clear every freaking trade we take. We're going to lose some, we're going to win some. The objective is you're going to manage the trade the same exact way if you are winning the trade than if you are losing the trade. It's the same. We don't change nothing. Your stop loss is set. Your TP is set. You're going to manage your behaviors. So what I need everybody to do, look, here's a pen and paper. Here's a notepad that I have. I need you guys to start documenting when we got in this trade and this thing started coming down in the negative. I want you to document what was going through your head, the doubt you started to feel, the anger, right? Why you felt the way you felt. Document it, right? And then when it started coming back, I want you to document that as well, right? I want you to document your TP area, your stop loss area. I want you to document the time you got in right here around the 23 range, 34 range, the time we got in, right? I want you to document that as well. I want you to document what we saw that forced us to get in the market at the time we got in, right? I want you to document that as well. All right, guys? Guys, we're literally big, giant documenters. And the greatest way that we can literally win at this is to have enough documentation of yourself to be able to have a clear idea of what's taking place, because the market is just a repetition of yesterday, right? If you have a clear documentation of yesterday, you might know how to move a little bit better today. All right, you might know how to move a little bit better today, right? It's 11:51, guys. We're gonna wait these 9 minutes because in 9 minutes we're gonna get a major move play, right? Either we're gonna get the move play to our direction to go hit our TP, or we're gonna get the move play to come hit our stop loss, right? So I wanna be patient enough to allow this to do what it do. All right, and guys, if you don't touch the money, look, we went from negative 200 and something dollars to $159, right? All right, look, we're not over leveraged. We're letting the market work and do its thing, right? It's going green candle, red candle, all of that negativity. We're not putting in no more positions in the market. So if you're that person, you're like, I'm putting another one, you're on your own, right? Learn to clear one position at a time, right? Learn to clear one position at a time, not putting multiple ones in the market, all right? Not putting multiple ones in the market. And let me see if all right. So, all right, I'm gonna go. So 0.6, right? That's the one I'm using. So about 1,000, guys, I want you to know you need about $1,250 in your account. All right, in your account. So when you take this trade, that's how much money you put to the side to tell the broker, hold this. This is how much I'm willing to open this trade up. And out of the $1,250 that I use to open this position up, I want you to only use 50 pips on one side, which is close to $350, like 3 and change, right? That's how much I'm willing to risk of the $1,200 to go make $550 is where our TP is at. So I'm going to will is almost 1-to-1, right? That's the risk and reward, right? That's literally what we're telling the market. So guys, take a look. If I go put another one in, right, another 0.6 in, guess what? I'm using now another $1,250, right? Why is this important to know? Because the moment you put this second position in, your margins have changed, right? Margins, right? Margins have changed. You're no longer, if you're at a $5,000 account, you've officially used half of your margins, 50%. So the same negative 50 pips that you go down, now you're actually hurting your margins because you have two positions open, not just one, right? This is why it's very important you go one position at a time until you understand what you're doing. And when you start to understand what you're doing, then you can, guys, change your lot sizes around as you enter your positions, right? So your first position that you enter the market should be a light position. That's because what we usually see is not usually what happens, right? Usually it happens outside of what happened. All right. First one is your light position. The second position you put in is when you're getting ready for that confirmation, if you want to put a position in, right? The third one, if you're still waiting, that's your holy grail, right? Your holy grail is your third position. That means you waited the longest for it. You had to observe the market a lot more, being that you weren't caught up in the market and seeing what the market wanted you to see. So by the time you bust out your third position, guys, it's your best position. So guess what that means? That means that position is going to be your heavier position, right? Not your first position. Your first heavy position, if you're doing heavy on your first one, it's because it's greed, right? All you see is money. That's it, right? Your second position, if you go heavy on it as well, it's more greed that's attached to you. All you care about is making money. And then the third one, guys, I'm here to tell you, if you have three large positions in the market, then you have no respect for trading, and all you really care about is gambling. I'm going to be 100% thousand with you. And guess what, guys? You might be successful 1 or 2 trades. You might be successful 5 trades. But when it comes to a sequence of 10 trades, you will never finish. With a sequence of 50 trades, you will never finish. You will never have a successful week. You will never have a successful month. You will make multiple withdrawals, but you will give it all back in the market because your style of trading is sporadic, right? And the market loves sporadic. It takes all your money. Sporadic traders get all their money taken, all right? Our trade guys went from, now we're down 18 pips, or we're down $120, right? And it's still moving. So we're going to be patient, right? We're going to be patient. Again, I personally don't like sitting in positions that for too long that are not moving in my direction, but we got a nice little consolidation. Guess what we learned from consolidation over here and over here, right? We learned that once this little consolidation finishes, guess what? It pumps the market, pumps and pumps. So knowing that, we got a nice solid position at the bottom, right? Guess what? Now we just got to let the market pump. Got to let it cook. All right, and take a look. We got a nice healthy green candle after that. Big drop candle came in, all right? I'm officially, let's take a look. All right, we're officially in profits. Our trade is officially in profits, right? It was just in profits, but look, we went from, guys, 200 and change to negative to $30, right? I know some people, the moment you broke into thing, you're like, oh, I'm going to click the trade. Look, you waited, like you were in the negative for so long, right? Why would you click the trade? You was willing to give up your 50 pips. Why click the trade when just because it broke into profit, right? That's your first sign of like, yo, it's going in my direction. I was right, right? I was right, right? Why would I get rid of the trade, right? So I want you guys to lock in on that idea so you don't end up giving up your trades too early, all right? Because you don't want to give up on your trades too early, all right? You don't want to give up on them too early. Obviously, you don't want to hold on to losing trades. But again, the last thing you need is to be holding on to a trade for like We got it right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 minutes plus 15 minutes, right? So we're what? We're in for like what 27, 20, 26 minutes. 26 minutes. Guys, we're not gonna sit in the market, be in drawdown for 26 minutes to clip our trade 30 seconds in positive. It's not, that's crazy, right? I'm ready to risk the 3 and change. Just because it came back up doesn't mean the fear kick in, I need to close it. No, it means now that I've gotten rid of the bottom, I'm no longer in a negative, I'm gonna let my trade work. It's gotta cook, right? Let the trade cook, let it do what it do, right? We can, guys, from this point on, if you would like, you can slide your stop loss, right? Look, all right, look, you can slide your stop loss. All right, you can slide your stop loss and say, you know what? I'm no longer risking that much if I want to. I'm going to put it right there. All right, I already saw that whole area come through. I'm not going to risk any of that anymore. So I'm going to shift my stop loss up. So guess what? My risk to reward just got better, right? Based off what I experienced and I saw, right? 27 pips. I shaded, guys, look, I shaded 25 pips for my stop just by being able to be confidently say, all right, now we're in the positive. You know what? We're looking for 50 pips anymore. I've already saw 25 pips negative come and go. So I'm going to shade to that 25 pips. That's where the market have shown me the stop is, right? And then we sit tight, right? We're not going to, guys, look, remember I said, we don't want to just let this thing go, all right? Remember, we're on the 15-minute mark. New 15-minute candle just opened, right? New 15-minute candle just opened, all right? And we said that at 12, we were looking for a move to happen, right? So let's see if that move take place, right? Look, 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 boom, boom. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Look at that, guys. 24 pips, all right? 24 pips and counting, all right? Let's go. TP1's about to get hit. All right, TP1 about to get hit. All right, boom, boom. TP1 about to get hit. Let's go, 12 o'clock. That's what I'm talking about. All right, TP1 about to get hit. All right, we got 34 pips on the board. All right, come on, 34 pips on the board. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. 15-minute candle just exploded. All right, the 15-minute candle just exploded. All right, guys, look at this thing. It just exploded. All right, 15-minute candle exploded completely. So, guys, take a look. We went from 34 pips. All right, I'm a firm believer of not losing any pips, not losing anything. All right, so guess what you don't want to do? You don't want to let your money retrace. So if you're a beginner trader, what I need you to do is I need you to learn how to pull profits, right? Look, we went from the band to the band, right? I want you to pull profits, right? I'll worry about teaching you guys later on how to hold on to positions and which ones to hold on to. Right now, I don't want you to get caught up in that. It's not what I want you to get caught up in, right? I don't want you to get caught up in that, all right? I want you to get caught up in doing the right behavior and all the proper things, all right? Let's go. We got CTAs coming in. Right, so we got CTA happening, right, which is completely different than before. Remember I said down here, it's completely different than before. Why? Because we came back to our zone. Guys, remember, look at the zone we wanted. It broke outside of our area. We could have been a little bit more patient, but guess what we did? We let our stop loss do the work for us, and we let it go, all right? We let the stop loss do the work for us, and we let it go, right? So we was literally this close to TP1. Again, guys, I'm a firm believer. Don't lose pips that we don't need to lose, right? Don't lose it, right? You can ultimately get rid of that trade, get back in at the bottom, right? Let it come back and retest and do a continuation, all right? And then for all of my advanced students, look, we're going to show you how to literally, all right, let me move this out of the way because this is a 15-minute. All right, we're going to show you, all right, how to swing it, right? And that's for all my advanced traders. You're gonna learn how to swing trade this right later on. So what does that mean? Look, that means TP1 is right here, TP2 is right there, right? It's nice and simple. All right. And guys, remember, you spent 23 minutes in the negative. All right. You spent 23 minutes in the negative. Don't be so quick and afraid of seeing your money in the positive and be ready to almost clip it. Right. It's the same. Remember, your stop loss is set. We shaded it 25 pips. Right. We either getting out of the trade or you figuring out we're going to be holding on to this trade and going for the swing. Is one or the other, right? You can't try to do them both at the same time, right? But my thing is, guys, don't get caught up in sitting in a negative for 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and then instantly you're in a positive for 10 seconds and all of a sudden you clip your trade, right? No, right? If that's the case, then just clip it while you're in the negative. I need you guys to understand that clipping the trade doesn't mean because you saw a little bit of money. Clipping the trade means it did something that went outside of all your rules, your indicators, anything. That's what's going out of, right? It's not just, oh, I feel like clipping, I'm scared. No, it did something opposite to what you're seeing. And this is why I'm saying to you guys, you got to take a lot of trades, because the more repetition you have, the more you start to see what's happening. And when it deviates from that, guys, we clip it, right? We clip it, all right? And look, price went to, it gave us 3 red candles, and it gave me my first green candle in there pumping, all right? So let's see what we do in the next 2 minutes, right? So price is fluctuating, right? But you got to let it cook. You got to let it work. All right, you got to let it cook and you got to let it work. If you caught multiple positions on here, look, get rid of your top positions and hold on to your bottom position. You don't need all of them, right? Trust me, I'm a firm believer. Promise you, if you hold on to all of them and they start to reverse on you, they'll take you right back into that negative state, right? You don't want to be in a negative state. Clip the bottom one, hold on to the bottom, reset your stop loss. Actually, you move your stop loss back to where your entry position was, because that's technically how we protect the money, and then we let the positions work, all right? And this is a firm, look, guys, firm, I just told you guys, don't be so quick to clip your trades, right? This is where most of us have to get better at, because if we are willing to spend 40 minutes in negative, I want you to spend 40 minutes in positive, because for the first time, you finally saw what you saw, and now you're ready. You just hit TP, right? That's TP1 is smashed, right? TP1 is smashed, right? TP1 is smashed. So guess what I can do? I can, for the first time, I can take my stop loss, right? I'm gonna move it right above my entry. Guys, it's officially a risk-free trade. This is a risk-free trade. Let's put that right there. All right, it took a while to set up, but I'm going to type this in the chat, risk-free trade. All right, risk-free trade. That's what it is. Now, guys, do me a favor, go in the chat. If it was worth sitting from 10:30 to 12 to bust this trade, give me a CTA in the chat, right? Give me a CTA in the chat, right? Give me a CTA in the chat, and I hope you guys took this with me, because if you didn't, that means you scared yourself out of the market, right? If it was worth waiting 2 hours, yes, hell yes, it's worth it. Hell yes, it's worth it, right? Hell yes, it's worth it. TP1, guys, we smashed TP1. Now we're moving out to TP2, right? TP1 is smashed. It's that easy, right? I had to wait for the noise to happen, right? And I know sometimes the noise, it hurts being a part of the noise, because we had to miss all of these. And a lot of us are like, oh my, I missed it. Oh my God, I missed it. I was the same way, guys. But the only difference is I'm not going to let the market tell me when to put my 2,000 up. Because I just told you guys, that trade that I have to bust, it's a $1,200 trade. That's how much I have to put in the market to put to the side, even though it's $350. I'm not putting $1,200 in the market unless I know exactly, I'm familiar with the terrain, right? Unless I'm familiar with the terrain. So other than that, Familia, let's go ahead and let's close these out, all right? Because we hit our TP. All right, take a look. All right, we're not in the position anymore. We're in and out. We're in and out of the market. We don't need to be. Remember, we said we're consolidating, so we don't really need to be in the market that long, right? We call some positions. All right, we call some positions. All right, guys, we call some positions. All right, we had to be patient. We allowed it to do what it do. We were on a little bit longer than we expected, right? But that's trading. Sometimes you might have to come sit a little bit longer. Sometimes you got to come think a little bit longer, right? It's the same exact way. And yes, I didn't stay in this trade as long as I wanted to, but this potentially might be one of the long-term swing setup. So if you're looking for a swing to go to bed and wake up, guess what? Sit tight, wait yourself to about 12:30, 1:30 in the morning. Let it literally show it to you, and then pop your trade in, set your stop loss, and go about your business. Wake up in the morning. Two things are going to happen. Either you cleared your trade for a big swing position, or you lost the trade for a little tiny loss. Either way, we're winning. I sat here, guys. I bust out a 0.6. We bust out 300 and some dollars while I'm doing what I love to do, helping you guys, help you get educated at the same time. Guys, life cannot get any easier than that. The greatest career that you can have is trading. The highest paid profession on earth right now is a trader, a retail trader, right? And the second one is an anesthesiologist, which is a doctor. Now, I'm here to tell you, you could spend 12 years like my sister, who's a doctor, right? 12, 15 years to go get that degree to be able to make the 400K a year, right? 400, 500, 600,000 a year. Or I'm here to tell you, you can plug into this right here and you have a skill set forever. Meaning when that doctor retires, the money stops coming, you will never retire. Your retirement is when you choose to stop clicking the button. All right, Familia. But other than that, I appreciate you, Robert. If you need anything from me, man, let me know, guys. I appreciate all of you guys. Whatever you need from me, please let me know. But other than that, we just caught a banger. Let's go. Peace. Peace out.